We come to show you love, so let me show you. Whether you my nigga, my bitch, or I don't know you. Going out for show you love, so let me show you. Don't have to come in this shit and make me blow you. Wait, that came out wrong. It's the Going Off Podcast with Rap Critic and Muse.
Hey, what's going on, man? Action-packed show this week.
Yeah, never a dull second. Gonads in full force.
Oh, geez, in full effect. 2017 in full effect. We got one album review and a movie review. Well, the movie we'll be talking about later on in the podcast is Bad Rap, a documentary about Asian American rappers. It was Indiegogo, we believe. And
I just found the page.
Okay, awesome. Well, in any rate, it was funded, so that's great, and we got to see it, and we'll be talking about it later. And we also got Everybody by Logic is the album. Oh no. Already chuckling. So the movie focuses primarily around 4 Asian American rappers, Dumbfounded, Aquafina, Rex Dizzy, and Lyrics, but it also does a good job of kind of presenting the involvement of Asian American rappers throughout the history and the foundation and the evolution of rap as a genre. So it even presents some cats from like way back, like early 90s, kind of around the time of gangster rap kind of starting off.
Yeah, there were like some DJs from like Cali that were like apparently blowing up the set back in the day. Like Sprite was trying to get some rappers to do something and they auditioned for it and they didn't know that they were Asian.
You really can't tell on the thing. I mean, more often than not, you really can't tell.
Exactly. And so when you hear like New York accent, your brain automatically goes black rapper, you know?
It also, towards the end, shows the evolution of the rappers focused on in the documentary because it was filmed over a 2-year time span.
Yeah, they have like a 2-year, like first they show them at the beginning and then they show them 2 years later. It's like, how have you done? And it's so interesting because, you know, I think this documentary does a good job of like making you care about them. We're sympathizing them, we're seeing their journey, and you know, throughout the whole movie, they tell you that, yeah, Asian rappers always have to deal with the stereotypes. You know, we always have to deal with like people not taking us seriously. It was cool to see because, like, you remember the Rich Chigga thing from last year? It was like, what?
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, was he in that? Was he in this movie?
I think it was made before that happened.
Yeah. But I was like, I just remember thinking about that and, you know, thinking about love. Like, what? Asian people aren't gangsters? And this movie's just kind of like, you know, actually, like, there are some dudes that will fuck you up, but it's just not within the hip-hop narrative to believe that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so these guys are kind of, like, bucking back against that. And just showing, like, variation, because they're not all the same type of, you're not all the same type of cat. Aquafina is very different from Rex Dizzy, who's very different from Dumbfounded, who's very different from Lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Lyrics is more, like, Christian kind of dude. Aquafina is more, like, quirky. And kind of does that, like, novelty. Well, I don't want to say novelty, but I mean, the main song that they were...
was the My Vag. Yeah, which is a takeoff of the My Dick song. So it's just kind of like, yeah. But, and then you have Rex Dizzy, who, he seems like he would probably be the one who blows up because he fits most in with what's kind of happening now. It's like just weird enough to be different, but it's still kind of like, you're still like having chicks booty shaking in the video. You're still kind of you know what I mean?
I feel like Dumbfounded could be the one to kind of take off or like maybe be featured on other people's stuff and get known that way.
Well, see, I've heard him around for years, but it's always been like the underground sort of circuit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the first time I ever heard of him was in Battle Shit. Like, it wasn't album cuts. It was rap battles, and I was impressed with him there. But then, yeah, once I started listening to the singles or whatever, it wasn't really for me. You know, like, every so often you'll hear rappers like Supernatural, who you're hearing like, oh my god, this dude's freestyles are amazing. And then you listen to the album, and it's like, eh.
Yeah, it must really be a different animal to go from freestyling to writing a song, because it's like, for me, like, I'm hearing them like, the lyrics are obviously there. They're obviously really clever. What happens when they sit down to write a song? Like, I don't know what it is.
I guess it's because you gotta, like, focus a whole song on one thing, and it's like, well, I'm good for, like, 2 bars.
It's not purely about insulting someone, because when you insult someone, It's, you know who the person is, they're right there, and you're insulting them. It's hard to translate that into a song when it's like, you know, the battle raps are mainly for making this specific person feel like shit. When you're doing battle raps that are like general, or you're doing song topics, I guess it's just a different animal, you know? So you follow Dumbfounded, and his journey is honestly like the most endearing because, you know, he's been around the longest. He has the most prestige of all the rappers. And then you see that final scene. Well, not the final scene, but like the really big scene with the battle. And it's like the Consequence dude is like making all the fucking Asian jokes. Like he's like hitting all of the beats of just like Asian joke here. Oh, you guys look alike. Oh, you make wonton soup or whatever. Oh, you eat cats. And it's just like, and Dumbfounded just has to sit there and be like, yep, the 435,000th time I still have to deal with this shit, you know? And there's something about watching the whole journey of these guys and seeing the humanity of them. And then seeing this shit still fucking happening to them in goddamn 2016 with having to deal with the racial shit. It's just like, fuck, man. Like, it's really geniusly worked the way this movie the way this movie plays out. And specifically because, like, it's an interesting sort of dynamic when it comes to, you know, Asian people in a black genre, right? Because, like, you know, a white guy in a rap battle with a black dude, he can't make black jokes. And you know why. You know the bigger narrative that's going on as to why that's not cool. But with an Asian rapper entering into a battle with a black rapper, the black guy can make these Asian jokes, but I guarantee you, if Dumbfounded started making black jokes, this shit would be a wrap.
LGBTQ across the board, overweight people, they're, for whatever reason, kind of looked at as, like, acceptable targets for jokes, and it's weird. Asian people as a ethnicity is also kind of lumped in there. Like, we're still not to that point. And I think it might also be because of something we talked about on the podcast before, about how people don't really seem to care so much about Native Americans. It's because, like, we don't see them as often. Yeah,
there's just no visibility in hip-hop. I guarantee you, if we saw... And it's not like Asian people don't listen to hip-hop. We fucking know they do. It's just, there's no real big figure out there to be like, no, here's this thing that is for you too.
Yeah, like, it really comes down to representation and someone being able to identify with it, because while I would love to hear an Asian American rapper's story and whatever, I'm sure there are plenty of people, you know, black, white, whatever, really wouldn't be able to sympathize with the story, and it wouldn't really connect with them. You know, unless the songs had a completely... You know, like, the message was completely irrelevant and removed from the race. If it was just about, you know, whatever, then maybe that might work better. But there's so many people, like we've been talking about recently, fucking Joey Badass, Kendrick with Damn, Logic, for fuck's sake, Logic. These people, they focus so much of their work on who they are. And it's like, if you talk about other stuff, then yeah, it's kind of seen like a novelty song. It's like, you know, like if you're trying to be funny, you know, is that really going to be like a top 40 single that people are going to play over and over again? They're going to listen to it once, they're going to laugh, they're going to move on, they're going to forget about
like
it.
Like I said, it happened with Rich Chigga.
Absolutely.
People heard the song, oh, it was really cute. People didn't even stick around for the remix with Ghostface Killah.
Yeah, people were already gone by then. It's so weird. And it was the same thing with Psy. He had that follow-up with fucking Snoop Dogg, and people did not give a shit. They were already gone. I don't want to talk too much shit, but they brought in the Far East movement, who I never would have considered fucking hip-hop.
Yeah, I was like,
but the second I saw them, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? The goddamn Far East movement. But yeah, they got them, they got Jen in there, Jin.
I mean, it's really sad, but I think they are the first Southeast Asian artists to have like a top 40 hit in like 30 years.
Oh yeah, and it wasn't at all because of them.
Yeah, I know, but technically Far East movement is important. It's just like, God damn it. Yeah, it's like, God damn it.
With Aquafina, there's so much focus on My Vag, and with Rex Dizzy, there's so much focus on I don't even, like, God Bless America or whatever it's called. I forget the name of the song. But with Dumbfounded, it's like his whole career is being discussed, and it's like, okay, I get who this movie is really about, because it even shows the rap battle at the end, like we were talking about. There's so much more focus on him, and I'm not saying that that's like to the detriment of the filmmakers, because I mean, he is the most recognizable name, so why wouldn't you do that from a marketing standpoint? But yeah, I think it does a really good job of mixing it. Like, it doesn't feel like the dumbfounded movie, because it does so much jumping back and forth between the four of them, that you get a really good story and coverage of all of them.
I will say, okay, so do you remember the part where they show these like industry cats their videos? They asked someone, who's like, do you have a favorite like Asian artist? And he was like, oh no, I mean, you know, I don't. It's like, have you listened to any? And he was like, I mean, no. And like they're like judging it and criticizing it, and I was just like, man, it especially gets to you because you've been following their journey and you care about them at this point. And it's just like these guys who don't know anything about them, and they just go like, man, that's whack. And it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's only because you know them.
Yeah.
But because honestly, like, if you never heard it before, there's a good chance you'd be like, I'm not really feeling this. But you want to show it more love because you've seen their struggle.
Yeah, and these guys have no idea. They're just like, I don't like it.
The film is called Bad Rap. Check it out. Successfully funded Indigo project. Great watch. Great documentary. Great story. Great for anyone who's interested in hip-hop at all and want to hear about, you know, some behind-the-scenes shit. Anyone who just wants, like, a sort of, like, feel-good representation, inclusion type story. I think it does a really good job at that. It's got its funny parts. It's got its touching parts. It's really well made, really well edited and filmed. Hats off to everybody involved. It's a really, really solid finished product. So yeah, just keep your eyes open for it, because I'm not exactly sure where it's going to be. I know they're doing the physical copies for the backers, but I'm not sure when the official thing is going to be, or if it's going to be on any like streaming things, but keep your eye open.
Was there anything you wanted to talk about this week?
Not particularly, besides possibly briefly the ICP thing.
Yeah, so that happened.
In the video, you got Shaggy, who shows up and dances, spits maybe half a verse, gets kicked out. You got Violent J, who, can I just give it up? Did you notice the weight loss on that motherfucker?
Yeah, no, I was like, holy shit, like, he's back to 90s weight, bro.
I mean, I know ICP normally wears baggy shit anyway, but shit's extra baggy on his ass now.
Yeah, but, still, first of all, just rapping over the 6 foot, 7 foot beat, like, people have laid waste to that beat, like, 6 years ago. You know, like, I understand they're doing the insane, like, this song, this classic song, but with Insane Clown Posse on it, but it's just like, this song specifically, I remember everyone had their little fucking freestyle on it back in like 2009 and shit.
Well, see, here's the thing. I really like that beat, so I don't care. I didn't mind.
It was just like, to hear it now, it's just like, oh, you're still doing this? And then it was like, oh, 6 foot, 7 foot, parentheses, 7 foot, 8 foot. Like, I don't know what that, the fuck was that supposed to mean?
I thought they did an okay job.
The problem was, because I like how they twisted like the first lyric of each verse into being about something else. I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. But I didn't like how like it felt like he was ever so slightly off with the flow. Like this was rushed. Like it's not like he didn't have time to put this shit out. It's not like, oh, we need to hop on this before people forget the 6 foot, 7 foot beat.
We touched on briefly or mentioned that there was a kind of like a miscommunication between ICP and Tech 9, but apparently ICP and Twiztid have like a legit falling out. Yeah,
apparently it happened in like 2012 and it's really getting amped up now because he made this diss track. And it was just like I didn't even know about this shit until I heard this. Word on the Juggalo streets, I don't know, in Detroit, whatever, is that Violent J is holding the L for this shit.
Really?
Like, nobody, like, you go to even Insane Clown Posse, like Juggalo websites, nobody's digging this fucking, diss. Like, they might dig the song, but they're just like, nah, man, why the fuck are you dissing these guys?
Wow, that's nuts. I got a quote from that article from Jamie Madrox of Twiztid. He compares the split between Twiztid and ICP as a divorce and says, we'll be the cordial parent and say, that's fine. If you'd like to go to the march with your mother, your father will be over here. We've got the new soda and chips that you like. Whenever you're done, we're not mad.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, they're fucking over there, cool as ice, not at all affected, which, I mean, that's great, and I'm proud. You know, I'm happy that they're over there, like, you know, just not unfazed. But, dude, who the fuck's talking about Twiztid?
Well, see, you know what's funny? Gmo Ski, he came out these motherfuckers' lives, because as soon as I saw this, the second thing I saw was this video, well, not a video, but just a song with him eating an arm for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. Called Pull Your Resume by Gmo Ski. I'd never heard this cat before, but apparently he released this song, like, not even, like, 18 hours from when the original disc came out.
You know, for a dude who says, it's okay if you're gay, he really focuses on that.
Yeah.
As if that's really something that's supposed to eat through him. Like, I mean, overall, you know, I think that's a way better diss than the fucking ICP one, because that one was kind of disjointed and it was a little hard to follow. It seemed like it was one of those disses that tried to also double as like a possible single, which I don't really know if that's something ICP should really be concerned about, his singles in 2017, but yeah. I like that they got a feature like the fucking Lil Wayne track had Corey Guns on there, and he kind of mimicked the style a bit, like he did some speed rapping in there.
No, it was pretty cool. But
I was feeling him until he threw his fucking hat off.
Yeah.
Dude,
I was like,
I'm not trying to talk too much shit. That dude's hair, though.
Looking like fucking Beaker.
He was looking a little silly. I'm just saying.
The diss track, yeah, there was one too many focusing on just, oh, you're gay. But then when he sort of explained it in the second verse, I kind of got it. Because it sounded like he was actually exposing, like, something that happened. If it had just been about that part, like, kept that part to that part, saying, like, hey, you're actually, like, closet gay because we know about this thing that happened. You know, then it'd be like, okay, you're exposing him like that. But to just be like, the whole first verse just be like, you're gay. It's like, well, okay, but I figured we kind of knew by now that doesn't really fucking matter. And then he even tried to, like you said, flip it like, it's okay to be gay, just don't lie about it. It was just like, well, that should have just been the message instead of picking on him for supposedly being gay all throughout. You know what I mean?
It's like fucking saying every single person that's closeted, like, he's coming for you because you're lying about it. Especially in hip-hop, like we were talking about last week. It's not exactly the fucking genre that's the most receptive.
But I think the point about this is specifically, like, because, you know, hip-hop's supposed to be about being real. It's like, well, if you're a real rapper, how come you haven't, you know, been who you really are concerning this? And, of course, there's basically the problem of, like, well, because being gay hasn't been accepted for most of civilization in America. So, you're gonna have to give that one a pass. Like, come on. But, you know, when you're making a diss song, it's not exactly about being nice.
It was a bit all over the place, like the original.
Yeah,
but
so very suiting. I mean, these guys aren't exactly the masters of lyricism.
No, it's like I wasn't all that impressed when I saw the Psychopathic Cypher, but it was serviceable. You know,
yeah.
I'm not expecting greatness from the label, so you know, decent disses are okay. You know, I'm not going to expect too much more or gripe about it.
Yeah, not everything needs to be the Hall of Fame, you know.
Right, and it's not exactly a feud that I'm going to be following very closely.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'm not going to give a shit about this.
Yeah, I don't need to know about Magic Ninjas versus Psychopathic Records. Dude, watch tomorrow. That'll be, like, all over the fucking evening news. And all that brawl took place between Psychopathic Records and Magic Ninja Productions.
Fucking Trump leaked information to Shaggy 2 Dope.
Dude, I wouldn't put it past him.
we weren't supposed to see that Trump had ICP in the Oval Office, and if it weren't for the photos printed on fagolovers.net, we never would have known. And now he's telling him shit, and now we're realizing that magic ninjas might not give him any intel anymore because of it. He can't be trusted.
That's why they're doing the March on Washington in September, bro.
Dude, that's true.
They thought it was all good, and then now there's a problem. I'm just saying, there's no other fan base that's doing a March on Washington. You'll see the Katy Perry fans doing a March on Washington, you know?
That's true.
I'm pretty sure her base is much bigger. Could have had a bigger impact.
What are we going to get first, an impeachment or a picture of Trump in Juggalo makeup?
I mean, dude's already a clown, so...
Low-hanging fruit,
but I'll go for it. He already has the makeup on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You just got to draw a design into it, and you're good. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in a while, we're reviewing an album that was mentioned numerous times in the comment section of last week's episode. But don't count that as a request. It's not a request, but we're gonna do it anyway. But, yeah, everyone's talking about Logic. I saw a thing on Twitter. I don't know if it was Dead End Hip Hop or maybe somebody else was presenting the question, is Logic top tier? And this was before I listened to this album. Before I listened to this album, my only insight on Logic was that he posted a video on Twitter where, for his wife's birthday, he hired, I don't want to say a full orchestra, but it was a whole bunch of like people playing instruments on their front lawn, playing the theme to Curb Your Enthusiasm to wake her up. And I was like, all right, this dude's funny. I can go for that. I don't know what his music's going to be like. And here comes this album, and it's not at all what I expected. Yeah, you said you got a lot to say. I'm gonna let you start because there was a good bit about this. We got the Spotify lyrics and the quotes from the Genius thing.
Yeah.
If there was ever an album that didn't need to be explained line for line, it would be Everybody by Logic. This is some of the most on-the-nose, literal stuff. Why do I need a dude saying, hey, you know, this is about coming from a mixed household? Every other song, I know! I'm not trying to downplay your struggle or your story, but holy fuck, dude. I got it!
Oh my god. So, on the Everybody song, he goes, to explain it, he goes like, the hook is just about unity. I think we live in the era where some ignorant motherfucker can be just like, what is this all life matter shit? Fuck you mean, dog? Chill out with it. This is beautiful, and I'm just here to say that. Everybody has experiences, and everybody has highs and lows and this and that. The fuck did that mean?
I'm so glad. Yeah, did we really need that? Did we have to read that?
As a songwriter, you should have a better explanation than that. You know, like, you shouldn't sound like a kid who's been asked to read about this piece that he was supposed to have read up on last night, just making it up as he goes along.
Dude, I picture Logic in the Genius Studios just sitting there like, how many more times do you want me to go over this? Like,
on Twitter I said, I feel like either he doesn't know how to simplify shit, or he just doesn't know what he was trying to say in the first place.
Yeah, I can see that.
I know artists try to express their reality as being lost in a crazy world, but dude really sounds lost in his own ideas. Yeah,
which you don't really get that in the song. The songs are very concise. The message is loud and clear.
I would say, like, okay, the scenarios are very clear. His explanation about them is kind of a little muddled.
Okay, yeah.
You know what it is? It's not that it's muddled, it's just very, like, for someone who's talking about, like, I've had to deal with race relations all my life, he does not sound like he had to deal with it all of his life.
Yeah.
Like, he does not sound like he has had to think about this for a long period of time, even though he's talking about it as if he has.
And like I said, that's not to downplay his experiences, but
it's
just
not
downplaying the way he
expresses it. Okay, so we have Hallelujah, and can I just say, the skits on this album, I really enjoyed. I possibly enjoyed them more than the songs. Like, I honestly, listening to these skits honestly made me think, like, couldn't we have just made the album about like this?
And here is where we differ.
Really? You're the motherfucker who was like, MC Chris, oh, I can't wait to hear these 9-minute skits with talking to fucking Freddy Krueger.
Dude, honestly, I would take that over this.
No, I really enjoyed this. Because think, like, all right, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a really good idea that comes up on this album. And just listening to it unfold, I was like, oh my God, that's really cool. That explains the album title being about everybody. And I was like, that would be so cool if the album was about, like, he's going through this experience and then it sort of unfolds in another way as well.
It was a waste of good Neil deGrasse Tyson, in my opinion. I wish he would have been used better, especially for such a hip-hop head. Maybe, like, be featured on a track or something. But the skits...
The skits are bad.
You hate the
Meandering.
skits.
I don't like the skits. You're right.
Just for a way an album is formatted, this is a... I was gonna say a pet peeve, but no. This is a major gripe. That makes the album really hard to re-listen to. When you got these skits as parts of songs, that's annoying. Like, halfway through, there's a track where the skit is just the skit. It's like a 4-minute thing. Yeah. And it's just a conversation between this dude and Neil deGrasse Tyson. And that's fine. But when you got, like, the intro track and the outro track, where half of the song length is made up of skit, you're not gonna re-listen to that again. And it's, like, on the same par as like, 2 or 3 of the songs on this album. He just fucking talks for, like, 2 to 3 minutes, and nobody is not skipping over that part. and even comparing it to MC Chris again, and I don't even think that I was going to be comparing Logic to MC Chris this much, but here we are. He had a song on his album, on MC Chris's album, about dealing with anxiety. He was able to cover every single horrific detail about his anxiety through lyrics. Why? Yeah. Why do we have to sit through a 3-minute song about your anxiety and then another 3 minutes about you just talking about it at us? You know, I deal with anxiety. It feels like this. I'm sure it does. I'm not saying it doesn't. But why couldn't you present this in a more artistic way? Man, I'm just saying this for you. I'm saying this for everybody. I'm sure everybody the first listen through really got something from that. The second time through, as soon as that fucking last verse or chorus ends, they're skipping to the next track. No one wants to hear that shit twice.
I don't like that. For the first 3 minutes, okay, so first of all, we have a magnificent chorus that starts us off. Like, you can't front on that chorus. That chorus was great.
You're talking about the intro track?
No, to Anxiety.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's kind of goes like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make you feel this way. Oh, boy, I'm going to make you feel what I feel so much. And for the first 3 minutes, he kind of does it. He's just saying how he's about to make me feel this way. And it's like, it doesn't really matter as much if you're not actually going to do it. And then, like, halfway through the track, oh, there was no verse that was actually going to tell me. He was just going to talk.
Wait for it.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, you know, you have the medium of rap to do that. You didn't have to just talk, you know? And it would be cool if he did this once. But like you said, it happens multiple times. Like, Camp was cool. The way Camp ended was cool. Is because he's been rapping this whole time. Now we get a story at the tail end. But for him to keep doing that, it felt like, dude, rap. Like, oh my God, there are so many of this. Can I just tell you, I got so fucking sick and tired of fucking, now let me see if I can.
Oh, I think I know where you're going. I hope we're on the same page.
I am so goddamn sick and tired of listening to this album. Huh? No. I'm sick and tired of him doing I'm saying something that's really important, then I'm just gonna repeat it instead of rhyming it, and then do that again, and then just repeat smaller parts of that phrase. Like, because literally every time I hear a line that's about to do something cool, he just ends up saying the fucking line again, because I'm expecting every line to be about something cool. Then he just ends up doing the same thing again. And then he doesn't rhyme it, and then he just moves on to something else. It's just like, stop fucking doing that. Like, it literally sounds like in the writing process, you had no idea what to fucking rhyme with it, and so you just moved on.
What I thought you were gonna quote specifically was the
Oh, you mean the way he says, everybody people, everybody cool, everybody do. It's like, dude, if that doesn't sound like Kendrick Lamar.
That song really, as soon as you mentioned that, that's all I could hear.
Dude, when I first heard, the first thing I heard about Logic was that he sounded like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
And when I went to this album, I was like, I'm not going to assume that. I'm just going to go in and listen to it because, like, every artist deserves, their chance. Hallelujah, I didn't get that. No. When this fucking second track came out, I was like, okay, you're doing this on purpose. Like, everybody cool. That's exactly how Kendrick would say that. You know what I mean? And the beat that sounds exactly like All Right. Why is everyone trying to sound like All Right? Because it's happened with the Joey Badass album, too.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. It really did.
That song must be really impactful.
The part I thought you were gonna quote specifically was the, how could her mama mislead her and her daddy just leave her? And like, abracadabra, when a magician pulled the lever. He repeats that 5 times in a row. And that's not even counting earlier in the song where he repeats the chorus 3 times in a row.
Dude,
and
this
on Spotify,
song...
it just says, yeah, man, I repeated the verse 3 times in a row. It's one of the best verses I think I ever wrote. That doesn't mean you have to repeat it 3 times.
Dude, if we like the fucking verse, we'll listen to the song again, you dumb asshole!
Dude, I was looking at the length on Spotify and I saw it was 12 minutes. I was like, please don't tell me that this is gonna keep repeating for almost 13 goddamn minutes. I can't do it!
Like I said, the first time I heard it, it sounded good. And then I was like, wait, was that a chorus? Why is he repeating that? Is he gonna like change it halfway through? And it's like, oh no, he's just repeating these 3 verses. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that?
Because, man, he's really proud of how it sounds.
Oh my fucking God.
You need to hear it 6 times.
Oh, this isn't Jamaican dance hall, dude, where you do a short 8 bars and repeat it. It's like a full 16 bars. It's like, why does he keep doing this? I liked it the first time. I'm hating it now.
He's really great at making me like a song at the beginning and halfway through wanting it to be over so fucking bad.
Yeah, oh, man. I wanted to like this album so
Me
bad.
too.
Like, I'm listening, because I'm like, wow, people don't tackle these topics. And I'm glad that he's doing it, but he's not, I hate to say he's not doing it right, but God damn it, there's a better way to do it. Okay, when he was talking about anxiety and dealing with mental health, you know what? That should have been the focus of the album. Because when he did that, I believed him and I was like, yeah, I'm with you on this. You know what I mean? The 1-800, whatever, the suicide hotline song, I was feeling him on that. Anxiety, when he was telling the story, if that would have been like the only story, I would have been feeling that, Because it sounded really good, and I really felt what he was going through. The other songs, it really felt like he heard someone else doing social conscious records, and he was like, well, I gotta make one too, because I'm half black and half white, so my experience is gonna be even that much stronger. But it's just like, he was just paddling in circles, trying to figure out what the fuck he wants to say. And there was one point, I feel like he should have had the one song where he addressed it, and just been like, hey, have whatever your belief is, just don't kill each other, okay? Like, that felt like that's what he really wanted to say for the whole album. What he really wanted to say was, I know I can't stop the way you think, but can we just start with not killing people? That would have been a cool, like, hey, if that's all you had to say, then just say that. But it felt like every other song he had to say, if he was 17, black daddy, white mama, it wouldn't change a thing. Light-skinned motherfucker certified as a house nigga. It's just like, and then, like, okay, he had that one lyric where he says, he had a cool lyric where he was like, in my blood is the slave and the master. It's like the devil playing spades with the pastor. Good lyric. And then he goes, but he was born with the white privilege. Man, what the fuck is that? White people told me as a child, as a little boy playing with his toys, I should be ashamed to be black. And I was just like, what? Wait, what? Hey, huh? Were there situations where it advantaged you to look as light as you do? You know what I mean?
Right.
And it feels like there might have been, but he never wants to specifically say that, because if he does, he might make you lose sympathy for him.
Yeah, and I really would have liked if there was a song that was honest about that and did fucking go into that, and then by the end of it be like, hey, look, but I'm addressing that
exactly.
A lot of people aren't as lucky and fortunate as I am. First time I saw him, I thought he was white.
Yeah, me too.
When I watched that video of him and his wife and the band and the fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm shit, I thought he was white.
Yeah.
So as soon as he said that, like, I'm half white, half black, I was like, oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, the whole album's gonna be about that? Oh. Okay.
It just could have been handled so much better by someone who was a lot smarter about this. And there were so many points where he could have done it. He talks about how he basically hates his mom and dad because, like, his mom was racist and his dad, like, walked out on him.
Wasn't there, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, that's really interesting. Like, there were parts where he said, I hate that I'm white or something like that, where it sounded like he was about to get into, because I'm black, because I'm black, I feel like I have criticisms for black culture. But because I'm also white, I feel bad for having those criticisms because it just feels like the hatred that my mom had.
Yeah.
If he could have tied that together, that would have been like, oh my God, that really is conflicting. But he never brought it all the way to that point because it felt like he was kind of scared to really say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It felt like he was dancing around the circle of it, but he just never fully said it. You know what I mean?
I like when albums break up, I don't want to say monotony, but yeah, I will. Of one topic or whatever, bring in some levity maybe, tackle a different topic. But boy, oh boy, was there not the how am I going to say this?
Are you talking about the Juicy J track?
The fucking Juicy J track. I'm just going to, out of context, alright? This is the same song. I'm just trying to live my life. I'm just trying to do what's right. I'm just trying to gain insight. I'm just trying to sleep all through the day and get up at night. I'm trying to do it right. Can somebody show me the light? Okay? Let me skip down to Juicy J's verse. I'm gonna quote this as is, so if anyone wants to give me shit, I'll accept that. Stupid fake ass out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Getting extorted and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck y'all, man. Perpetrating ass dumbass motherfuckers, man. All on the gram. All on Snapchat with that bullshit. Kill yo motherfucking self. Kill yo motherfucking self. And tell yo bitch to slob on my knob.
Yeah. Especially for an album that had 2 tracks about mental health. To have a song saying, kill yourself. What? But I try to give it the benefit of a doubt. It's like, maybe he's using him to, like, make a point about something, right? Like, hey, rap this materialistic verse, but I'm going to be talking about that, But the point of the song was to be like, oh, man, all these other rappers are faking and fronting. Not me. I'm totally, completely... It's okay when I talk about gangsta shit. Just like, what? You're missing the point, I think, dude.
And can I just extra point out how the song fucking ends, which is just, it made me so mad.
Whenever a song fucking congratulates itself.
Yeah, you hear Logic and fucking Juicy J going, yo, I'ma keep all this for the album. Oh, they're gonna love that. They're gonna be like, oh, fuck. That was exactly what I said when I saw Juicy J on the track listing. Ah, fuck.
Oh, then we have Killing Spree. Which, like I said, interesting topics. He just doesn't know how to tackle them. You have Killing Spree, which I thought was going to be about, like, is it going to be, like, someone who's, like, killing people because of, like, race or something like that. But it's just, like, it's the typical, like, oh, there's real shit going on in another country, but you don't care because you want to watch your favorite TV show. It's just like, first of all, we've already tackled this topic,
It's fucking done to death.
I would have appreciated it if it was done with a little bit more nuance. Like,
yeah.
Hey, I understand we need our distractions to help us keep on with life. But, sometimes we let those distractions take over and we don't really care about things that could matter,
Like the fucking Katy Perry song.
And then his message is also kind of weird, because he's like, blame it on black, blame it on white, blame it on a gun, blame it on a Muslim, everybody want to blame him, blame her, blame it on the motherfucker killing everyone! And it's like, I feel like he's trying to do the what's the word? The middle ground guy. He's trying to be the middle ground guy. It's like, well, the problem is just get mad at that one individual person who killed someone. Because that's the only problem. He had no outside culture influencing him. Nope, just crazy.
It's not part of a bigger picture or anything, a bigger problem. It couldn't be systemic. No. Let's just focus on this one incident and take it one at a time.
Yeah, anyone who ever does anything bad, they're just, what's the word they say? For whenever it's a white gunman? lone wolf.
I gotta go back just for a second with Killer Mike, because in one hand, I thought that was a really great spoken word piece. On the other hand, I was disappointed that it wasn't a verse.
Yeah.
What I thought was funny, it made me laugh, was that when you were on Spotify and you're reading along to what Logic has to say, when he's talking about Killer Mike's part, he says, I had Killer Mike say this because I know people would listen. So, you didn't think people would listen to you? They're listening to your album. And you're not above spoken word outros to your songs. You've done it twice.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like it isn't in your MO. You've done it. You'll do it again. But I understand, yeah, I mean, Killer Mike, yeah, I was really interested, so I made sure to listen, because I like Killer Mike. But, what? Like, the logic behind that didn't make sense.
Oh, but we all know that everybody think the meaning of life is everybody, woo! Everybody think that the meaning of life is everybody, woo! Everybody think that the meaning of life is God damn it! And he doesn't even fucking say it! No, what ends up happening is he says
That's a cop-out!
He says something backwards, and I fucking played it on my movie editor. The thing that he says backwards is ass, pussy, money, weed, the thing that he says on the chorus.
Oh,
it's just like, what? What? I got so tired of hearing the word everybody. Everybody want to tell me what I am not. You ain't black, you a motherfucking white boy. Just about do it right, boy. Hey, boy. Man, why you such a hey boy? And it's like, it was almost, it's infuriating when someone is almost about to make something really interesting, but once again, it just feels like he's just circling around the block, but never pulls into the fucking house and makes you feel what he's saying. Just like, I'm really angry about this. I don't know how to tell you about it. There was one song where it really felt like he was doing that.
There was the one song that I thought started out on Message, most definitely. I thought it was one of the better ones, but then halfway through, all it does is, black people, get up, get up, get up. Black people, get up, get up, get up.
Oh, yeah. He has one verse and then just does a repetitive sort of thing at the end.
For the entire rest of the song, just repeats the same fuck thing. It's like, my God, dude. And he has one verse and then like a bridge and then just a long as fuck outro.
And then he has, he does this twice, where he mentions, like a bullet to the brain. He's like, I just want to live. I just want to maintain, like a bullet to the brain. Gotta play the game like a chessboard. Where does the bullet to the brain fit into that?
And then in another song, he makes like a Kurt Cobain reference.
Because of course he fucking does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Street's disciple, my rap's a trifle. I shoot slugs from my brain just like Cobain. Thank you. Yes, we've already heard that one.
Check that one off the fucking list.
And he didn't shoot them from his brain. His head isn't a gun. He shot them into his brain.
Everyone wondered why the world insane, why the world insane, why the world insane, why the world insane.
Oh, the fucking repetition. I'm okay with repetition if it matters. Or if it's not done every second line. God damn. You'd think this motherfucker was allergic to rhyming fucking words.
This one is, and he admits himself, he's not a very political guy. So this is kind of out of his comfort zone. But this is the album's almost obligatory, at this point, fuck Trump song.
Yeah, I mean, it's called America. Any song that has the word America in it, it's like, automatically, people are going to be sucking its dick, like, oh, it's so political.
And I thought it was alright. It was okay.
It was good because of the guest features. No, you know what? I'll actually give some love to Logic here. His second verse was good. I don't know why he had that first verse anyway, because he basically said nothing on it. And I hated the chorus.
Hey motherfucker, I'm real as shit. Everything I'm talking about, real as shit. Real as shit. Oh yeah, I'm back in this bitch, and you don't gotta like it, but get off my dick? Oh.
That's your political chorus, Logic?
I'm glad we got that insightful chorus before Chuck D chimes in. And I gotta say, waste a good Chuck D, because his verse isn't even all that good.
No, his verse is okay. I actually really love old man Chuck D going, dirty politics never come clean. Can y'all believe this shit in 2017? Like, really? Did we not talk about this shit like 20 years ago? My job's not done yet.
I thought that was funny. I just thought it could have been, I don't know, written better, because it was just like, yeah, okay, I get it, but it just kind of seemed like he was just saying, and his verse was way too short.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
As was Black Thought's. The fucking verses are like, god damn, they're so tiny.
Yeah. And
sandwiched between that horrible chorus.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, if you're going to make that anthem, make it about what you're talking about. Not saying, I spit real shit. I'm so cool. Get off of my dick. Like, really? This is the song? The one with Chuck D? That's the one where you want to make it about you still? He kind of talks some cool shit in there, right?
Yeah.
When he calls out Kanye West, I loved it. He was like, George Bush don't care about black people. 2017 and Trump is the sequel, so shit, I'll say what Kanye won't. Wake the fuck up and give the people what they want. Dude.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. I'm glad he said that shit. I wish it was in a better song, but I'm just glad he said that.
Yeah, and even later he says, he does your favorite. I'm gonna tell you what I need right now. I'm gonna tell you what we need. I need my people of color. Don't run from Trump, run against him.
That was cool. I just wish it rhymed.
And it's really funny because you got a song like this which says way too damn much, and then you got Black Spider-Man, which the whole point is just like...
I'm black and I'm white. Did you know that I'm black and I'm white? I'm really black and I'm white.
It's the second to last song, yeah. Yeah, we do. By now. And like, it reminds me of the song Perfect Dark from Samus.
Ooh.
Where the song was about representation and, you know, like, we need heroes. This one was just... I want Donald Glover to be Spider-Man, because, I mean, why not? Like, what? That's really the overbearing message here?
Now you're just making me want to go listen to that song again.
Good! It's a fucking great song!
Fucking Samus knows how to tackle a topic. And if y'all coming here and you don't know who we are, you're just coming here for this review, yo, check out fucking Samus!
Dude, her fucking EPs made me feel so much more than this whole fucking album did.
Oh my god.
This album had a lot of promise, and I think that's what's the most annoying part of it.
So much promise.
But, like, where Joey Badass, that album had promise and didn't exactly deliver, it was still enjoyable. This
it was
album,
solid.
Yeah, this album didn't only not deliver, but it was grating, it was repetitive, it was annoying, and honestly, I would say maybe... I want to say... Oh, man. I'm having a really hard time with the rating, I'm gonna be honest.
I'm just going ahead and giving it a 3.
I was thinking about doing that too.
Because it's like, it has all the promise and the trying, and you can feel that. Hey, and it has some beautiful music in it.
Yes, it does.
There are some songs where I feel like they would have gone a little harder, like Hallelujah. I kept waiting for the fucking drop to happen.
I think that's why I was flirting with 3.5 for a while, but then I was like, man.
Yeah, no.
No.
It doesn't build itself all the way up to get that half. No.
Can't do it.
Because there's so many moments where it slips and falls.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it attempted to do so much. And maybe, attempting to do so much, hey, it's going to be more likely that you're going to fall. And I'm sorry that it had to be this way, but I'm sorry that it had to be this way, but I'm sorry. Had to, beat. Yeah, you find that annoying? Yeah, you're going to find this fucking album annoying.
And what's so disappointing also is that it has such an interesting cover.
Yeah.
I hate when albums have really, really good-looking, beautiful, artistic covers, and then the album doesn't reflect it. That is so annoying. Like, you got To Pimp a Butterfly, great cover, great album. Damn, questionable cover, great album. And you got this, it's like, wow, what the hell is this? Like, it's almost a Last Supper thing, but there's like a robot statue, and there's like all walks of life sitting around. There's corgis for some reason, maybe for lol to random, I don't know. And then you got a robot in the middle, like in the Jesus seat, and it's like, who's that? Like, why is there a robot there? Maybe that has something to do with Logic's backstory or lore that I'm not familiar with. But there's a lot going on, and maybe that's a perfect reflection, because the album has a lot going on, but it doesn't focus on one thing long enough. It's like, there's a lot going on in this cover. What's the deal with that robot? I'm never gonna find out.
Yeah, why is he in the pose like the Adam statue?
A woman dangling a steak, a birthday cake. I'm not writing a song here. I'm just woman dangling a steak, a birthday cake, Jesus robot.
Hey, at least it fucking rhymed. Instead of just starting the sentence and not finish it, starting the sentence, starting the sentence and not finish. Oh, dude, you don't know how much that shit pissed me off.
Oh, no, I do, because it annoyed me too.
When you're writing a song, like, because I know that happened, because I write lyrics too. And you come to that point where you can't find something to rhyme with it. So, what would you do? I don't know, just fucking repeat it. Because there's no way he had that one line and was just like, nah, I'm writing this line just so I can repeat it. It specifically feels to me like he didn't have a fucking rhyme. So yeah, you know what? Great topics that could have happened, beautiful music, but these lyrics, man, they brought you down. And what's weird is that, you know, you kind of get I kind of get the feeling that a lot of people thought we were going to like this guy. Or like this album that where, oh my god, and by the end when they're like, oh man, now we're going to play his final album. Yeah, not interested.
Well, folks, that about does it for this week's episode of the Going Off podcast. Thank you, sincerely, for joining us. If this is your first time listening, consider subscribing to our show on iTunes. Just search the Going Off podcast, or just rather, Going Off podcast in the iTunes search bar. Hit that shiny little subscribe button, and you can get every episode we release as it's released. You ain't gotta do nothing. And if you want to listen to all our backlogs, I guess, all our back issues, they're all on SoundCloud. All on iTunes. You can download them all. Listen to them wherever the fuck you want. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Consider helping us out a little bit on Patreon if you have some extra change lying around. And for the Going Off podcast, I guess we'll see you here again next week. But until then, I'm Muse.
And I'm the Rap Critic, telling you to text a friend or relative and tell them you love them. I guarantee you they won't be mad. And if they are, they're probably kind of a dick, and you shouldn't be their friend anymore.